Hey guys, so this is the video for Riven Cosplay Part 2, which is making the basic shapes for the sword. So it's pretty straightforward, it's pretty easy. Basically, I just traced out everything by eye. I looked at this last page, which has a pretty clear image of the sword and the proportions. You should be able to draw out the sword by eye, which is what I did. If you have trouble, then I would suggest drawing a grid on top of the splash page. That way you can proportion it better. So once you have the drawing, you just create these layers so that you get your three-dimensional shape. So the most prominent shape is on top of the handle, so that has the most layers. So you can see the layers developing the three-dimensional shape that you want. But it's always up to you. Whatever you think looks the best. So I just did one layer for the blade. And you can also see the runes cut out from the inner layers. And that's about 2 layers thick, as you can see. So you can glue it down with glue gun or any type of glue that you have. It's just that I use glue gun because it's faster and I've never had any problems with it. The only problem I've had with it is when I used a dollar store brand, and that's when I felt it was falling apart. So if you use one from Home Depot or like a good quality brand, it should be fine. So some layers do have tape pieces. It's just because the foam board isn't long enough for it. I think the sword comes out to 55 inches to about 20 inches wide. So it's pretty long, and when you stand it up, it should be a bit over your shoulder or just at your shoulder. So I finished one side, and now I'm going to do the other side. Again, the layers depend on how thick you want things, how prominent you want them to be. I finished the shades on both sides. You can see how many layers I've done for the sword. So once you have your shape the sword better by using an X-Acto knife. As you can see, I'm cutting into the sword so that you can shape it better. If you just leave it the way it is, which is fine, it's going to be very blocky. I think this makes it more realistic and makes the prop come to life better than just leaving it very squared. It's hard to tell right now, but once I have it covered in mache, you're going to see that the shape is a lot nicer by carving it. You don't have to worry too much about making it even or if there's any holes. You'll be able to cover that with the fast mache. So don't worry about that too much, just make sure you're creating the shape that you want. So here's when I do the handle. You can also see me shaping that a bit better. I don't touch it too much because it is pretty flat in the picture. It looks pretty flat. So I just make the edges a bit more curved. So I didn't really tape everything that I did. I mean, every once in a while I check it to see what I can improve, and I put it in the light and see how I like it. But it's up to you what you decide to have the shape as. Once you have the shape that you really like, that's when you're going to apply the fast mache or the paper mache. And this is like the same type of thing in my part 1. It's just that you have to create the shape before you apply any fast mache, and you have to create it as close as possible to what you want. So I hope you enjoyed that, and it's not that much progress for those people who understand what to do next, but next part I will be able to show you what it's like to add the fast mache and the paper mache to the basic shapes that you created, and I'll hope to have that up soon.